What is going on, everybody? I hope everybody is having a fantastic Wednesday. Now today, for this Wednesday, since I said I would only upload Tuesdays and Thursdays and every other Friday most likely, I may change that to uploading every day or close to every day. So today, Wednesday, we will talk about the only thing right now, the college football playoff. And my thought on an 8-team college football playoff. Now, I know right now it's only a 4-team, and we can be like, oh, what if this happens this year and this happens this year? But I think in the future it will turn out to be an 8-team playoff at one point. So I'll go over my rankings for the college football playoff that I said last year, my prediction, and what actually happened. Now, it wasn't very hard to predict what would happen because you had to take last year's rankings, move teams up and down according to who won and who lost. I had Georgia 1, Alabama 2, Notre Dame 3, Clemson 4, Oklahoma 5, Texas Christian University 6, Miami 7, Wisconsin 8, Washington 9, and Auburn 10. And that was the college football playoff rankings that came out yesterday. Another thing about these rankings in the top 10 is that this week we will have 6 top 10 teams in 3 games. We'll have number 1, Georgia play Auburn. In my opinion, Georgia's going to squeak that one out late. Then we have number 3, Notre Dame playing Miami. Now, this will be a close game. This is a toss-up. This is almost a coin flip, really. In my opinion, the winner of this game may end up being a lock for the playoffs because Miami will be undefeated at the time. Then they'll play in the ACC championship game against Clemson. Could potentially knock Clemson out. Or if they lose, then they wouldn't be a sure lock. But I'd say they're almost a lock if Miami wins. Notre Dame wins this game. I think they're a lock for the playoffs because they would have one loss, a good loss to Georgia by 1 point. That game could have gone either way. Reverse touchdown call late in Georgia's favor. Next is 5 versus 6, Oklahoma versus Texas Christian University. I think this will be a shootout. I would set the over-under at nothing less than 110, and I would bet the over. I will be surprised if both teams stay out of the 50s range. I feel like this will be a high-scoring affair. I feel like Oklahoma and Baker Mayfield will squeak this one out, though. So now on to 8-team college football playoff. Do I think this is a good idea? In my opinion, I think this is a great idea because for the reason that it's more football. And who doesn't want more football? Like, I wake up on a Saturday watching College Game Day ready for football. And that's my opinion about why it'd be a good idea. But the real reason that this would be a good idea is every Power 5 conference will get a team in the championship or in the college football playoffs, no matter what. Your champion will go. ACC, Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12, Big 12 all get one team in, regardless of record. If they win the conference championship, they are in. Now, this eliminates the question is if all Power 5 conferences, their champion has one loss. So let's just talk for a second. What if the ACC in 2018 has Clemson at 1 loss, Ohio State in the Big Ten 1 loss, Alabama 1 loss, USC 1 loss, and Oklahoma 1 loss. That's 5 Power 5 teams all with 1 loss. Now, they would probably come out and say who they thought had the worst strength of schedule, and they will get beat out. But you still have all 1-loss conference champions, and I think it's kind of tough to knock one of those out. So the 8-team playoff would get rid of that no matter what. Now, I also like the 8-team playoff for the reason that it gives any team a chance in that conference to make it, regardless of losses. If you can make it from, let's say, in the Big Ten East and West, if you can make it out of the West with 3 losses on the year in a perfect Big Ten season, and you win, you're going to be 9-3 or 10-3, and you're heading to the college football playoffs. Now, people will say that's a bad idea because, well, it's a 3-loss team. They're probably not very good. They're probably going to get beat first round. Who knows? They could make a run in the playoffs, and then that would just be more exciting to watch, in my opinion. So you got 5 slots filled for the Power 5 conference champions. Now, the next 3 teams get in, or the next best 3 teams will get in regardless of conference. So you could have 3 more SEC, 3 more Big Ten, 2 SEC, 1 ACC, any combination you can think of. Or you could get an independent in like Notre Dame is looking to get in this year. This gives Notre Dame a better chance, in my opinion, to get in because they're an independent. They don't have a conference. They'll never win a conference championship. I think Notre Dame sooner rather than later will join the ACC since they do play a heavy ACC schedule. This gives a team that only loses in the conference championship a better chance to get in Because if you look at it, you're going to have an undefeated Georgia most likely and an undefeated Alabama most likely in the championship this year. They will be 12-0 apiece, and they will play, and the loser will drop to 12-1, winner to 13-1. Maybe get snubbed out of the college football playoff at 12-1, and the only loss in the championship game. Now, in this 8-team conference championship, or 8-team college football playoff system, they would get in because their only loss was to an undefeated team in the conference championship. I also like this idea because it gives conferences more chance to get 2 teams in or more. Because you could, like I said in this scenario, you could have Alabama and Georgia. The loser would most likely get back in. And then if you have a one-loss team that didn't make the conference championship, but they're a good one-loss team, they could also get in. You could have potentially 3 of the 8 teams be from the SEC. The downsides that I've found to this, they're not, like, I don't really find good downsides, but the only downsides would be more football for the players, so more practice, more stress on the body, stress on the muscles. It's not very, I don't find that very important. Possibility for more injury, although very unlikely since they've been using the same muscles since day one. One downside that I found that I thought was pretty funny was more time out of school, but if we think about it from an athlete standpoint, who goes to school to learn? They go to play football. But overall, I really love the idea of an 8-team college football playoff. No more, this would eliminate all talks of Power 5 teams getting snubbed, so I think this could be in effect fairly soon. I feel like they'll stick with the 4-team playoff system this year and see how they, see what teams they put in, and if they feel like they snubbed a team, they might add it sooner rather than later. So that wraps up today's video about the college football playoffs, but you're going to want to tune in for tomorrow's video. Tomorrow, Thursday, we will talk about the great debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. You'll get my opinion on who I think is the best ever, because they are 1 and 2, either James Jordan or Jordan James. You'll get my opinion, you'll get the breakdown of stats, you'll get the breakdown of everything and anything you can think of between the two, and then I'll leave it up to you to decide who you think is the better of the 2 players. So that wraps up today's video. I will see you tomorrow.